Welcome to the return of the How to Counter series, where I shall teach you how to counter some of the most powerful and oppressive characters in the game. Today, we shall be taking a look at the Chomper class and how to handle this for enthusiast. Let's get started. Before we learn how to counter this piranha plant reject, let us first take a look at what they are capable of and how much of a threat they are on the lawn. Chompers are the official plant melee class designed to keep enemies away as well as instantly kill them in certain circumstances. Most of them have 175 health and most move at an above average speed, so they are fairly mobile. The primary that a chomper can have falls into either one of two categories: either they attack by biting or attack by using a spray that has slightly more range. The exception to this rule is Yeti Chomper, who uses snowballs that have fairly decent range. Biting chompers typically have the higher damage output with their relatively high damage per chomp and fast attack interval, though the spray based ones can overtake them if the user is capable of mashing fast enough, though they will have to be wary about overheating. Chompers can instant kill enemies if they attack from behind, or sometimes from the front, depending on how much the game decides to want you fucking dead for the day. Chomper's abilities aid his close range nature, though Goop can act as a ranged attack, though it is his only option outside of Yeti Chomper at getting to attack enemies beyond point blank range. Goop is also a major threat to Z-Mix or any character in the legendary state, as it locks out the use of your abilities as well as applies a 60% speed penalty for the next 3 seconds, which can pretty much set enemies up to be killed for free if hit whilst in the middle of the crowd. Burrow can be useful for instantly killing enemies, but in doing so, leaves the chomper vulnerable, as whilst they chew, they cannot attack or use abilities, and move slower whilst chewing. However, more advanced and intellectual chomper players will use Burrow not as a killing move, but more to force their enemies into either using cooldowns or to back off temporarily from certain areas. And spikeweed can commonly be seen around areas the plants have to defend, such as known bomb gardens, suburbanation objectives, or just littered around tight corners. It is because of this that chompers are often powerful in one-on-one scenarios, especially if they are allowed to initiate it. So be sure to always keep aware of your surroundings, and that if you happen to spot a chomper on their way, to seek high ground whenever possible. Almost every class in the game has some form of mobility that they can use to run away, excluding the imp and pirate, though imp has a double jump and pirate has a barrel to sit in and a cannon to sit on. If a chomper attempts to swallow a zombie that's either an engineer on a bolt blaster, jackhammer, pirate on a cannon, or in a barrel, or a coffin outhouse zombie, then they will instead swallow the object instead of them, giving the zombie a fighting chance. This can be used to bait chompers into thinking you are defenseless before whipping it out at the last second and force them into a losing battle. Though if the chomper knows how to use spikeweed, then this tactic may not be as effective. Classes that have access to strong vertical mobility, such as Soldier and SB, will be able to have an overwhelming advantage, though SBs will have to be careful, since their beam doesn't last very long, so it should be at best used to force them away. Saints overheating will leave you without a ranged option for a long time. But the biggest counter to a chomper would most certainly be an engineer. Engineers are equipped with a stun grenade that not only forces chompers out of the ground, but it also stuns them for half a second longer than all other plant classes, so they get a larger window of opportunity to attack them. Most notably, AC Parry can chain stun them with the freeze effect, and Roadie Z can rival their close range damage output. Pirates can very easily outrange chompers, and on top of that, send their parrot drone to assault them for free, though they'll have to be mindful of where they use their drone. Saints getting spotted can mean certain death without you even realizing it. Thanks to this video, you will now know the true power of sitting on a roof like a little bitch and sticking with your teammates at all times as you force chompers to fuck off elsewhere. Be sure to come back for the next episode in 2 weeks. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more shit like this. Have fun.